What's up, guys?
Hello.
Chaos Illusions.
Coming back.
Alright, this time we're talking about Sneako.
Nick Fuentes.
This dude's crazy.
Nick Fuentes or Sneako?
Who fucking knows? Both.
Sneako's person, Nick Fuentes, about his controversial past. You know, coming from Sneako, that's interesting. You know, because Sneako likes Nick Fuentes a lot more than a lot of people. And for him to press Nick Fuentes is something that I think finally, like, you know, reasonably so, I think it makes sense that him of all people should. Because Nick Fuentes is not like Sneako's existence.
Hey, bro. Sneako, big hater, bro. Sneako, he's, you know, anti-establishment. Nick Fuentes is anti-establishment. They're going to be on the same page.
But
except
people
for
of the anti-establishment.
But now only people that, like, Sneako can talk to are anti-establishment. So, you know, he's got to shit on him a little bit or else he has nothing to do. His platform's really about that, you know?
That's wild. Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
What's up, Cozy? 07's in the chat. Shout out to all the Goipers, man. I stayed up.
Goipers.
Nick!
There we are. Hey.
How you
Hey!
doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm tired. I've been streaming for a while. We were watching some degenerate alcoholic content, but it's funny. I don't know what you think about, like, Steve will do it and all that.
Oh, yeah. Never been a huge fan of that kind of stuff. You're real into that? He's with the Nelk guys, right?
Yeah, I've been hanging out with them a little bit. They're in the area, and plus they're a fellow Rumbler.
I said,
so I'm going to support people on this new platform. And I didn't know you stream on Rumble, too.
Yeah. I started multi-streaming on Rumble, you know, just because you want to get as much crossover. Obviously, this is my main platform. But, yeah, I saw, so it was today or yesterday, was that your first stream on Rumble?
You want to start
Yesterday was
multi-streaming
my
the
first
Rumble and
stream. Today's
Cozy?
day 2, and I'm just going strong.
Maybe
I've been
not.
streaming for 4.5
Cozy?
hours. I'm going to keep on trying to run it up on this free speech platform. I thought you were banned on here. I just assumed that you were banned on everything.
Can you turn it up a little bit?
So who's that dude?
No, yeah.
That's Nick Fuentes.
So,
Do you want to tell me about Nick
fuck
Fuentes?
yes,
some of
dude.
these other
Yeah,
Oh,
bro.
for our people who don't know about Nick Fuentes, this is
Nick
great.
Fuentes. So Mector just asked, who is Nick Fuentes? And you know the best.
Okay, Nick Fuentes is an interesting individual. I would say, like, he's as close as you can get to a Nazi without being a Nazi. He's
That's
alt-right,
quite the statement.
is what they would say.
What he supports to do, or
Oh, no, Mector, you're on his side, bro. You're with him, bro. No, I'm playing.
No, we can't, bro. We can't talk about Jews,
We can
bro.
meme, bro. Yeah, we can.
We can't joke about Jews, man.
I can. I don't care. I'm going to.
But we'll get banned.
Nah, bro.
No, Kanye is a Jew.
That's what I'm saying.
We're Jewish.
I can't get banned. I'm a Jew, bro. Apparently.
I'm sorry, but we need to stop. We can't talk on Jews, man.
Hey, bro. Jesus was a Jew, bro.
Shout out to his family. Man.
Exactly.
But
But no. This dude here, right? Like, he thinks that, like, you know, there's like a Jewish cabal. He's like Kanye level, you know. He thinks there's a Jewish cabal who like control all the governments and stuff, and are like trying to get rid of the white race. He's very pro-Christian, and he wants like Christianity to take over the law, so that like the law of the land is like the he's actually Catholic.
He's Catholic.
Catholic.
Catholics think like that.
But yeah, he wants like the Catholic church to like basically take over the government in such a way that all the laws are based on the Bible and stuff.
He wants that?
Yeah.
didn't we already have that?
Yeah, it's Sharia law, but
No.
It didn't work out.
No, I mean it works for no. Well, hold on. I mean, Sharia law, you might not like it, but you know.
it does its process. It does
You
what it's
know,
supposed
it
to
does. You know, they thrive, and you know, there's a handful of nations in the Middle East that thrive quite much, like Saudi Arabia. I think you know it's because of that oil.
They got big oil over there.
Got big oil in the Middle East. A lot of.
I'm entitled to some of that oil.
Are you?
Uzbekistan. I don't think they
Yeah.
fuck with you.
I need to give me some of that damn oil.
I don't
bro.
think they fuck with you. Whose people are you, bruh?
I'm all over there.
Uzbekistan.
I'm all
You're
over there. He
over there.
said, I got all the oil. Fuck out of here.
But Nick
I'm
Fuentes,
entitled
Oh,
to
Nick
some of
Fuentes
that.
wouldn't like you either, though, because
I wouldn't like him.
because you're Islamic, you know. You don't.
No,
like him either,
so he's a white nationalist.
Why
And
isn't he considered an extremist?
Oh, he is.
he is.
No, and he's banned. Dude can't even get a fucking chase card. He can't wear,
Damn.
yeah, dude can't like fly specific airlines because he's like that banned.
He thinks like
Like when I said he's the closest you can get to a Nazi, I mean like he's really there, bro. He's banned off of everything, bro. Bro can't get a fucking credit card. Bro can't fly Delta, bro.
he thinks interracial.
Look at him. He looks like
dating
he's
is-
streaming in someone's basement, bro. Like this dude is outcast now.
He was outcast. Dude, yeah, he was big time too. He used to talk to like senators and stuff.
He was in the big
Not
leagues.
when you talk like that, they're not gonna want you to talk.
Yeah, you talked a little bit too crazy, bro. Started wrapping it up too hard, like Sneako was, bro. Went too far.
Sneako
See,
was
but-
They
tweaking.
do have
You got an
terms of
idea, though.
service.
So
You
Nick
know,
Fuentes
Trump
isn't
got
tweaking. He's
signed on
just
to
like
Rumble,
that.
I think, at the beginning of this year or maybe sometime last year.
Hear 'em.
And for him to come on the platform,
Oh, it don't matter, really.
Yeah, you can turn it up, yeah.
So but what is it? Fuck, do you have a fin key? It's fucking Max, bro.
It's the speakers.
Dude. What, the little knob
you,
on the speaker?
you wanna roll it up a little bit?
Oh, they bitch up.
platform, they forced them to adopt this like big TOS, and they haven't banned me yet, but it includes all the things that Twitter's includes, that Instagram's includes,
I
and
just
so
wanna see
out of an abundance of caution, it's like, well, I don't want to take the same
Does
chance
Sneako
with an alt platform
agrees with
as
some
with
of
the
the things you
mainstream
say?
platform.
Often he does.
You know,
He
the
does
hate
often
speech,
agree
terms of
with
service,
Nick
that
Fuentes.
aspect of it. So
He's
so
pretty
I'm kind of
anti-establishment,
one foot in and
you know,
one
he
foot
doesn't-
out.
To do a podcast, I was thinking about people that I could do a Spotify podcast with, and I was thinking, yo, it would have been great. And Chad, I texted Nick yesterday. I'm like, let's do a Spotify podcast. Like, how did you get banned? I thought that was a free speech platform. How did you get banned on
Got
Spotify?
banned on Spotify?
They so you know they were calling on Spotify to ban Ye and take all his music off, and they came on and said, well, we really can't ban his music because his music isn't hateful. They said we can only ban hateful content, so like podcasts about politics, about so-called white supremacy or whatever.
So-called white supremacy.
I'm banned on everything, man. You see the
So-called
treatment
white
I'm giving to
supremacy.
people.
Dude, I gotta show you that. Yeah.
Well,
So
how
he's
about
a
you? Are
racist.
Have you been banned
Yeah.
for
He is
anything
racist
else?
towards
black people?
YouTube
Yeah,
and
everybody really.
He is racist towards blacks, but he is racist towards blacks.
He basically thinks that black, like white people should be able to have. He wants their own fucking country.
Yeah.
Just white people with no with to keep their majority, where like people aren't out here.
But this country isn't
Attacking
based
them.
off of all white people.
But
Never
this is
was.
that's what he wants it to be, man. I'm with you. It never was.
It's really funny
true.
because Sneako was all like, it's true with Nick. I don't know if he was quoting with Nick Fuentes. I believe he
I feel
was.
like, but listen, America is like so forgiving for when people want to come and live in their country.
And it's always
Like,
been
where
that
else
way.
do you know that immigrants go? Maybe England, yeah. Maybe,
Mehdi,
They go to
as,
Europe
you know
a
what's
lot.
funny? As an
maybe England. Like, you know what I'm
But
saying?
no, but look, Mehdi is an actual immigrant. Like as an immigrant, like you know what it means to be like America. In America, but like America's supposed to be the place where you can go when you're from a different country and get a better life. Like you know what I'm saying? People will
You
tell you
say
that
that?
shit. Or not.
People say I came here to get a better life. I mean, it might be a better life, but then again, it's just as harsh out here.
I'm not saying it's better. I'm saying that that's what people think, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what America's built
I
on.
mean, it's better here than a lot of places.
It is, but I'm just saying like that's what America's built on. You know, America's built on being like a place where you can come and like we accept all people in here. And we're gonna be like those kind of people. We're built on that kind of thoughts, and we've always been that way. Because I don't know if you guys know this, around America wise, but all white people aren't just white people, bruh. Back in the day, they really didn't fuck with each other. They were like Irish people versus you had the French people
All of them, bro.
and
They
the
all
British
had
people.
beef,
they all
man.
had
French.
big beef, bro.
Dutch.
Like they were beefing.
You know how many
dude.
European nations there are? There's a lot of them.
And they're like they all can be considered white people now, but back then they were beefing. You
Irish
understand?
people
But
were really disliked.
And they were okay with having all of these people come in together and work. Like we've always been okay with having immigrants from different countries and different places doing different things.
No, this is what I was gonna say. No, Sneako was talking. I think he was quoting Nick. He was like, "It's true. Like when you let a large immigrant population into your country uncontrolled, the immigration population can disrupt the culture and change the culture and make the foundations of the previous culture that was before they showed up fall or like be disrupted."
Okay.
And no, that's true. It's just like that is true. That's what happened in Rome with Germanic people. Not that's not true. It's just in America. That's like the one argument you can't make.
Yeah.
You just that doesn't apply to America, that logic, because like you say like immigration ruins cultures, but like American culture is immigration,
literally.
and the culture has only ever grown because of it.
We've literally are the melting pot. I remember being a little kid in school, bro. Like we're the melting pot. You know what I'm saying? Where everybody melts together until we have like a cohesive like group of of a country. All these different races and stuff they talk about. I think it's just weird for Nick Fuentes to be all like, so-called white racist, right realism. Okay, bruh.
And then yeah, it should.
But
yeah.
But look,
Summer
can be
or-
real. We've been
Twitch,
shitting on him.
Twitter,
Let's let it
TikTok.
out the
I'm
top.
still good on Instagram, good on Rumble, and good on Spotify. But yesterday I watched someone made a documentary called "The Devastating Demise of Sneako."
Yeah.
A leftist with him, and that was a big hit to my career. First talking to you, even then, like they were talking about how you're using me to spread your anti-Semitic white supremacy. How I went down the alt-right pipeline, and
man,
how I'm
true.
laughing along with a white supremacist.
True.
And all that. But he was even
so
mentioning,
lit.
did you go to the Charleston Nazi rally? I don't think you went there, did you?
To Charlottesville. Yeah, I went to Charlottesville.
Oh, Charlottesville.
Well,
What was that about?
I did go. Yeah,
So,
I went to the Nazi
it's
rally.
sort of a long story because, and I'll try and keep it short, but
That was a Nazi
so
rally.
that was
We
the
went to-
first year
literally
that I
Can you
did my
pause that?
show. I started
Actually, let's go back.
What's Charlottesville?
No, it's literally a Nazi rally.
Using
yes.
me to spread your anti-Semitic white song with a white supremacist and all that. But he was even mentioning, did you go to the Charleston Nazi rally? I don't think you went there, did you?
to Charlottesville. Yeah, I went to Charlottesville.
Oh, Charlottesville.
He literally just
No, but dude, like this dude's bad.
He's like, did you go to the Nazi rally? Oh, not that one. I went to Charlottesville though. Yeah, I
Like,
went to the Charlottesville.
Nazis
Nazi
are
rally.
one thing
Okay,
that you
yeah.
can say with 100% that they're evil, right?
Not if you're on Megdy's side, bro. Like,
Oh yeah, you would
I'm
the.
fucking with you, bro. I'm fucking
No, Nazis are
See,
bad.
the only thing I don't like about it is the Palestine.
Yeah, fuck, you don't mess with.
That's
I
a whole
understand.
different. That's a whole different.
And
Thing.
that's a pretty argument right there. I
But
agree.
wait. So he went. So he went to a Nazi rally.
Yeah, bro.
Wait,
Straight
why?
up. Well, he's
Because
racist.
he's who
He's
he is.
fucking
He's Nick Fuentes, bro.
racist, dude.
So it's sort of a long story because,
straight
and
up.
I'll try and keep it short.
Try and keep it short, of course.
So that was the first year that I did my show. I started my show February 2017, and that was August 2017. And you know the way that it was advertised at the time was that it was anti-immigration. It was about the Robert E. Lee Monument. They were going to rename the Robert E. Lee Park and the Robert E. Lee Monument in Charlottesville around the University of Virginia. And so I thought that it was going to be like a mainstream event. I was told that Faith Goldie was going to be there, and she used to work for The Rebel. The Rebel is like this Jewish publication in Canada. They were very like soft.
Rebel media.
Gavin McInnes was, I thought, was going. I was told Sam Hyde was going.
Okay, this is good of you.
So I was under the impression, because they called it Unite the Right, I was
Exactly
under
right,
the
yeah.
impression like all the right-wing people were going to be there. And then I went there and, well, not all those people were there. Faith Goldie was there, but then she got fired for being there, and
Yeah.
some people never showed
Cool.
up.
All you and all these
Um,
Nazi people.
So, you know, I was never on board with the, you know, Richard Spencer and Mike Enoch. I was never really with that crowd, but I wound up there, you know, protesting immigration. Why? What are your thoughts on that? Are you, do you think differently of me because you know that I was at Charlottesville?
Depends on how much you supported it and how much.
Funny enough, I don't think differently of him.
Yeah, like that's a good question. Okay, so like, yeah, I want to see what Cinco says to this.
Like, if you didn't know what it was gonna be about, were you there burning swastikas and like with the flags and shit?
No. So there were two main events. The Friday was the night before. They did the Tiki Torch thing, and that's where they said, you know, Jews will not replace us. And I wasn't even in the city. I flew in Saturday morning, the following morning for the big rally, which was at Lee Park. And I didn't even get to it. I literally, I could probably find my old plane tickets. I should probably do that at some point, because I've been telling this story for years. I probably flew to Charlottesville. I think I got in at like 10:30 a.m., got to my hotel at 11. By the time I left my hotel, they had dispersed the main rally. So I was there for probably like 2 or 3 hours, just sort of like looking for what was going on. The riot police had already shut off all access to Lee Park. And so I met up with a few people that I knew at the time. James Alsa, Brittany Venti I saw there, and
Wow.
some other
Back in
people.
the day.
And then I just went back to my hotel and I flew
Brittany
out the next
Venti.
morning, and
It's
that
the
was
old
that.
school, bro.
And,
Brittany
you
Venti,
know,
bro,
since
you
then,
remember?
people
I know Brittany
accused me of being
Venti.
like
I
a
didn't know she-
Nazi because I was
Nick
there.
Fuentes.
Well, I was really barely even there. And again, I was there
It's her
because it
style.
was anti-immigration and supporting the Robert E. Lee Monument, the renaming of the park and the toppling of the statue. So,
You're a fan of Robert E.
I
Lee?
think Live had a fight with Brittany Venti.
well, I'm a
recently.
northerner, so Robert E. Lee doesn't mean
Sweet.
very much to me. You know, Robert E. Lee really means more to southerners, but and I do like Robert E. Lee for what it's worth, but it's not like I'm a fanboy or something, but I am against the destruction of all these monuments. I'm against the renaming of the parks and the buildings and military bases. What do you feel about all that?
I think it's a part of history, but I'm definitely not a fan of the Confederacy. But I don't think that they should get rid of history. But also celebrating these people who were probably for slavery is not the best idea. No.
Well,
Sneako
with
is,
Robert E. Lee,
taking a baby
he in
position.
particular is a sort of remarkable figure because he said that he agreed with the cause of the North, but he fought for the South because that was his home. That was what he considered to be his nation. He felt an affinity for, I think he was from, Virginia? Again, I'm not even really a Civil War history buff or anything, but, but
telling me some shit I would
there
never
are
know.
attributes about Robert E. Lee besides the necessarily the particularity of the time or his side that was admirable. He was a brilliant general. He was courageous. He was patriotic for his side, for the South. And I'm not even a Southerner, but I still respect it. So, and of course,
I'm afraid of this type of stuff because you've been at a lot of the biggest protests and the biggest gatherings that most of the mainstream is against. So, do you think about the long-term consequences of this stuff? Because if you're truly America first, isn't it better to not associate with these types of events?
like what? Like Charlottesville and what else?
And January 6th, obviously you didn't know that it was going to end up like that, but Charlottesville especially.
Well, with Charlottesville, again, it was about...
big January 6th.
As far as I was concerned, it was about a few things, which was anti-immigration, and it was against this,
that's the Capitol
tide
riots.
to remove all the statues. And if you see,
He was there.
you look at where this thing is going, I would probably
He's
say,
supposed
do we
to.
have to
Yes.
defend necessarily every
Nah,
single
not
one?
really.
In a vacuum, maybe
No.
not. But as
over
always,
Joe Biden for
them
sure.
going after these particular,
Definitely
this
over
Confederate
Hillary.
general or Nathaniel Bedford Forrest, where exactly do you draw the line as to who is necessarily the most defensible? I don't know. But then they go for George Washington the next day. Then they go for Thomas Jefferson. Then they go
Right,
for...
that's a different story. I think people who are supporting the Confederacy, I can understand them getting rid of that statue. That makes sense to me because of the direction of the country and being anti-slavery. That makes sense. The Founding Fathers, I don't think you can put in the same category as people who wanted to secede from the nation. If you're America first, why are you in support of people who are literally anti-America? They're trying to leave the country.
True.
Because it's part of our heritage as a country. It's part of our heritage as a nation. And there's something about respecting the
As a
nation.
nation,
You know, because
nation
I
is one.
got here, my family got here
Well,
4 or
we won
5
again,
generations
bruh.
ago. My family got here
We won
after the
again.
Civil War. And so to me, because I see what you're saying, and I get it. It's not like I'm not hearing you, but,
Indivisible.
you know, my family got here after the
With liberty and
initial
justice for
colonies
all.
were established
Let's
in the
talk for
17th
real.
century, after the founding, after the Civil War, which was the deadliest war in American history. What is it for me who, again, ancestors got here after all that to
This is the
say,
only war on
actually,
America's side.
America's not about that. Like,
Yeah.
these Confederates aren't real Americans. The Confederates
the
were on the
bloodiest
American
war
continent
in
for
America.
hundreds of years. The Southerners were there for hundreds
So
of
many
years.
people died.
We may not agree with the cause or the
many
flag, and
Americans
murking
obviously
each
time
other,
has
remember?
passed and
So
it's
many
somewhat
Americans.
How was
anachronistic.
America
But
marketed?
it's
Brothers
still
and
part of the
sons and
nation's
fathers,
history,
brothers.
and those people, their ancestors and their descendants, are still part of the fabric of
Families
the nation.
destroyed.
And I get what you're saying, like, it's not the Confederacy. But to sort of say, oh, well, you know, they were a bunch of rebels or something, it sort of erases very...
They were. They literally were rebelling against the country.
Well, but you have to ask yourself, what is the country? They were rebelling against the central government, which they saw as dominated by the North and by industry and by manufacturing, as against the agriculture. I'm not in favor of the cause of the Confederacy, not in terms of slavery by itself, or in terms of some of these other arguments about states' rights or whatever. I'm through and through support Lincoln and how he centralized the federal government. But by the same token, to say that they weren't part of America, you know, Georgia was one of the initial colonies. Slavery was baked into the Constitution. Again, not to say that it's okay, but to say that, you know, because they took arms against the federal government, that means that they're anti-American. Is it anti-American that Donald Trump didn't accept the result of the election? Is it anti-American that, you know, people have protested things over time, that people say they have a right to bear arms in the event that the government becomes tyrannical. I don't think their political stance about the government has anything to do with you're American. If you're American, those are people that fought
It's always the
fought
government.
Is
alongside
it the
Washington
government?
and
What do you
fought
think
in
about
the,
this argument, Lynn?
War for Independence. Some of them fought the Indians way before that. And then they did take up arms against the government. I don't think that makes them anti-American. It was
Okay,
Is
a
that erasing history or?
What do I think of his argument?
Yes, the anti-America argument.
For
Confederacy.
for these anti-government things not being anti-American.
Yes.
He's right. They're not anti-American. They're bad. It's just not
Not
that.
anti-America.
They're
So,
not-
so you would say like
They
the
think America's
Confederacy.
theirs.
The Confederacy is
They're not
is
anti-American. They're very pro-America.
pro-America.
These two are fighting for which
One would be
wills
of
will reign
American.
dominant in American culture. Is what's going on. They're both part of America, and they're battling to see who's going to succeed, not who's right.
True. But that doesn't. So, but do we respect them?
Do we respect them?
Do we take them on? Is it
so,
cool?
As a culture, we decided that slavery was wrong, and not only wrong, but like rather wicked.
Yeah.
And so, because they were fighting to preserve slavery, because the Civil War started on a disagreement with how slaves should be handled. So, I guess we shouldn't respect them.
Some people think it's you know what his argument was actually, like
What?
the one he brought up on the side argument, because people say it's about slavery, but it kind of is. But like,
how long did slavery last?
what is it, 200 years, 400 years?
I couldn't
That's
say.
a long ass time.
Yeah, I think it's like 400 years. Or
And
slavery.
what would it,
400 years in
But was-
America?
what would have
I
happened
don't think it was 400 years.
if America
Not
still
400.
preserved
But
slavery?
we had slavery since the beginning of America. However long?
Probably like
how
a
old
century.
America is. How old is America?
Like, America has been around since the beginnings of America have been around since the 1700s.
So it'd be like 200 years.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's either 200 or 400 years. 200 years. But then you have to go back to the British Empire, where it was already slavery and they had slaves started. But
Yeah, nobody talks about the British having slaves.
yeah, they had slaves, big slaves. Well, we don't talk about it in America
400.
because
So if you went to school in like England, you'd learn about their history type shit.
Yeah,
400, maybe 400.
you'll
So
learn the
maybe-
history
maybe
from their
what's
perspective.
200. I'm not sure.
It'd be funny.
Would
I
you
think
say
it's
Britain had
200.
slaves?
Yeah,
Yeah, everybody had slaves, my nigga.
dude, everybody has slaves.
Nah, Britain had slaves.
They didn't talk about They don't talk about how the fucking Middle East has slaves. bruh.
Blacks enslaved whites too.
I mean, whites
Y'all
enslaved
had white
whites.
slaves?
Yeah,
Hmm?
I did.
Y'all had white slaves?
I did.
Yeah, there have been white slaves, man.
I come from king blood.
But what he's saying is like, yeah, like just be like those those anti-government, against the culture or what considered we bad. Those I don't know those movements that are considered bad, like the Charlottesville riot.
Aren't necessarily
They're not
anti-American.
inherently necessarily. No.
I think Sneako is being a little bit weak here. Too weak for a Nick Fuentes debate.
Like Fuentes is his
Or is
homie,
that-
man.
That's just not.
No, okay, Destiny and them are cool too, but like they actually
Nah.
beef. This feels like it's like Sneako against like anybody who's anti-establishment. Sneako will sit there and baby them, even if he disagrees with them.
Honoring, because having a statue
like-
of people who want to
Let's see what
secede
it
from the
says.
country is actively honoring people who were against the ideas that the country still represents right now. There's a difference between celebrating these people and erasing history. That's a statue I can understand removing. What do you think about the Confederate flag? I don't think anybody should wave the Confederate flag, and it's ironic to me that the people in the South that are very like pro-America wave a flag that's literally anti-American.
I support it, and again, I don't.
I
think
support the Confederate flag
Yeah, totally.
as a
And-
Northerner.
Yeah, and
Yeah, but the flag represents slavery.
I don't think it does necessarily represent.
Oh, I was
That's
actually
not
gonna
what
get
it
into this.
represents.
It doesn't represent slavery.
Yeah, but not just that. There's like an argument that the Confederacy doesn't exist because of slavery. It wasn't because of slavery. It was just because of slavery. So like slavery was like a side problem. Like the idea was that the North was trying to centralize the government, and centralizing the government got rid of a lot of state power. And like, so if the central government had the ability to control slavery, like, cause actually that's not even what Lincoln didn't get a chance to do anything about slavery, bro.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
Like Lincoln didn't do anything about slavery before they seceded. Right.
Yeah.
So that didn't happen until after that. But the problem was that he was trying to centralize the government and have it so that the states had less power individually, and that the central government had more power over like the states. Because back in the day, the states had a lot more power than they do now, right? And that was their bigger issue, and they seceded for that reason, is what they say. Like, a lot of people say that was the reason. It's not necessarily slavery. The slavery was a charged topic at the time.
I think it had something having to do with slavery. That was an essential thing that took place. I don't remember what it was.
Well, like, the idea was that like nothing actually happened with slavery. Nothing happened. Like, there were no bills made yet because they seceded because he got into office, not because he had made a bill or like passed a law. They seceded just because Lincoln got into office and they thought he would try to do some shit.
No,
they didn't like his positions.
No, something.
And the North wasn't actually anti-slavery as much as like they were until after the war started.
There was something that had something to do with slavery.
Like the only thing that happened in that war that was slavery was the Emancipation Proclamation, which like it didn't end the war, but like which technically didn't even end slavery. It freed the slaves of the Confederates.
Okay. The Civil War started because of uncompromising differences between the free and slave states over the power of the national government to prohibit slavery in the territories that had not yet become slave states. This was, I think maybe that was one of the reasons, but I know like slavery was a thing.
But like it was about, no, because this is
uncompromising differences between the free and slave states over the power of
the central government to be able to
government to prohibit
that's
slavery.
the problem.
So like
the national government was going to have enough power to prohibit slavery from like California before California was even a state, because states should have power like in their own way. Like the central government shouldn't have the ability to control like the state. Like it was about lowering the central power of the government.
So the South was basically trying to.
At the time, they were not trying.
Slavery was just part of what they
could do. Yes, it wasn't illegal. They weren't even trying to make it illegal.
Slavery just wasn't like the root.
No.
Slavery was just something that they didn't want the North to have influence over.
Yes.
Yeah, they wanted to keep them.
But they wanted just their power, though. Like
they
it was
wanted
the
power
was
to
the
have
problem.
slaves. Yeah.
Like it was more about the power. But slavery was like a part of that power. But the idea was power in general.
So slavery ignited the Civil Revolution.
Civil War, in a way. Well, like in a way, they kind of got mad because the northern states were like, "Hey, we don't fuck with slavery." The southern states were like, "We fuck with it, right?" But like they were cool being like that, both of them. Like the northern states were like, "You guys can have slaves, we're not." Like we won't have slaves.
They were trying to push it upon them, right?
They were trying to push it onto like California, like everything from like Ohio back, basically, towards California was not states yet, but we owned it, but none of them were states. And like the northern people had like taken over the central government, and because of that, they were gonna make those non-states into free areas where you couldn't have slaves. But like they originally like the law was about like every other state would become a slave state was the idea. But like if they take over an area that isn't a state and like say that it's a free area, then like that means that the central government has too much power, and they're gonna collapse the status quo. So they seceded and started a war.
So was there a two-part government there?
Yeah, kind of like it's kind of like still now, right? You know how we have like the Republicans and the Democrats?
Or was it like in One Piece with the Alabasta?
Nah. Well, for a while it was like Alabasta actually. For a while, it actually did Alabasta up, bro.
Wasn't the Great Depression that time as well?
Nah, that was a little later. Black people got to experience that too. It wasn't that different though.
Racism's hard, bro.
I need to be some
don't be hateful, guys. Check your bias.
I'll be reading,
bro. Fuentes be like, I check my bias.
I don't think that people in the South or elsewhere, because now you have conservative like country type people flying everywhere in the North, in the West. It's not just a Southern thing. It represents.
The whole reason that they wanted to secede from the country with slavery was the biggest issue that made them want to secede.
Well, the antagonism about slavery was really about what kind of government we had. and to what extent the federal government had a right to overrule the laws that are passed by the states. You know, I mean, slavery happened to be the substance of it, but fundamentally it was about.
That's enough for me to be like, no. If the flag, the substance is based on slavery, no, that flag should not be waved.
I just think that a lot of these arguments are sort of subversive. I think.
Oh wait! I need to say this because they're going to take me out of context. So I just made that whole argument, all that, but at the same time, if you wave the Confederate flag, like I don't think you should be doing that shit. Now I don't think it should be illegal, but like I think that you're probably
shouldn't be illegal.
But I will look at you a certain way if you do so, and I do think that you're probably a racist and a bad person, and I'm going to look at you that way if you do that. And that's just gonna have to be the way it is.
Like, cause the Confederate flag is a relic of that era. So like, for some reason, you feel a connection with that era.
Yeah, like you don't, because you're not doing it for the reason that they did it, and you know you're not. So let's not be.
You're not like that.
And they were actually racist too. So like, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But so were the northern people. So I can't. Yeah, that's what I think, right?
The northern
so I
people
can't
were
be like
racist.
they were just as racist for real. Not really that much less racist. Like they were okay with the other half of their country being slave states. Like they didn't have a problem with that for real. Let's be real.
So the racists,
They might have.
Not for real. Like not enough to push it and like.
Well, they were American.
so that's why like the
They couldn't
racists
push-
are suppressed nowadays.
What'd you say?
Now, like
Yeah,
like,
they lost.
That's the reason. Like if they like real racist people, there's like I think there's a couple of towns where there's just like all white people that are racist.
Yeah.
A couple. There's a handful, I guess.
Yeah, there's a few, but like that, like you know, like they would have had this debate. Not only would they hate black people, but they would hate every single other person. Right?
That doesn't believe in that. Yeah.
Yeah, so like that's why the real government had to pull up, bruh.
Strap them up. You know,
Remember
Lincoln.
when
Had
we
to
were
tell
like,
them chill.
America is summed up. It's just run up on me, I'll blame. I got my head on my hand. It's America in a nutshell.
You know how America that is? America could run up on America, and they still gonna blame.
Blame,
They hammer
yeah.
their hand, bro.
America will blame on itself. To like for respect.
America's so strong it fought itself.
Hey,
bruh.
prediction: we're gonna nuke ourselves one day, bro.
Oh man.
Just one place, bro. I don't know where, but
Shooting Putin 934
shooting
is
Putin.
my gamer tag.
Oh, yeah.
Shooting Putin.
You trying to unlock a sleeper agent, bro?
Unlock a sleeper agent.
Maybe you're a sleeper agent.
Nick
bro.
Fuentes would just be like, the Confederate flag. It's really not.
I want to
Nick
know.
Fuentes is a sleeper agent.
I swear, bro. I need Sneako to push back harder.
You know,
bro.
you said earlier you have to draw the line
too,
between
like-
the Confederates and the Founding Fathers. Well, the Founding Fathers owned slaves.
True.
So would you say that the Founding Fathers owned slaves? That's morally reprehensible. America fought a war to end slavery. So we need to topple the monuments of all the slave owners?
No, that's not what I'm saying, because the basis of the American flag is it represents freedom and the basis of America. The Confederate flag is based around slavery specifically. That's the leading issue for wanting to secede from the country. The Confederate flag, can you not say represents slavery?
I don't think it does. No, I don't think that
Doesn't
people
inherently
that
represent
fly
slavery. It
today
represents
Well,
do
he's
that
gonna
once
argue
or
that
twice.
argument,
I
but
don't.
it was pretty
and
much there.
you
I
know,
still with that.
And
I'll stay
I'm
with
You
with
think
Sneako.
it
you because
represents
I'm
slavery?
not.
I do.
Believe me,
Secretly?
I'm not like pro
Okay.
Confederate
Especially
or
now.
anything like that.
No.
I'm a
Well,
Northerner.
the
I
flag
don't- I'm not
itself,
culturally.
Yeah.
I don't
regardless
relate
of
to the
now,
South
the
at all.
meaning of the flag is intended
I
by the
don't own a
people.
Confederate.
Represents slavery.
What does the swastika mean?
It means peace and well-being is what the swastika
But
means.
it is not.
Why? Yeah, it does.
The Germans
doesn't,
stole
though.
that. Actually.
No, it means that in the
Now-
context of
now-
Nazism.
Now, Liam, want to know why this
Why?
doesn't? No, because in the context of the world, which Nazism has affected, actually, is the
Yeah.
answer. Not in the context of Nazism. In the context of the world, that the
It's a
whole-
hate symbol.
It is a hate symbol, and
But the
that is
Jews
what it is
used it.
now. They did back in the day. Everybody used it back in the day. Literally,
See,
everybody.
that's what I'm saying. Like that's
Liam,
not the,
you could say it's bad. You
and
could say
and that's
it was good.
That's
but
what I'm
Liam,
saying. That's why I disagree. It's
but
not
no,
the
it
inherent
doesn't.
meaning.
It doesn't
It's a
matter.
symbol
Liam.
And that's where I see where
No,
he's
you want
coming
to know why
from.
it doesn't matter?
Why doesn't it matter?
Why doesn't it matter? Liam, what does death mean? Let's talk.
What does
I
death
think
mean?
it's a
What does
symbol
death
of like.
mean?
I don't know.
What does it mean to die?
When life has vanished.
No, bro. It means whenever you seceded from God. But that's not what it means, because that's the specific. That's actually the true context of the word death from like the original meaning. But we can't actually use that because the entire world does not use the word that way, and the word has been redefined and changed into a different meaning, something else. And at this point in the world, that meaning is important. It is now. That is the meaning of what you have done. We have changed the meaning of words, and that is how it works. We can do that. We have the ability as humans. The original. What power?
The
does the original
meaning matters.
What power? No, it doesn't. What power does the original person who said the word have that we don't now?
Nothing.
Nothing. Great. And now if anything, actually less, because we can't affect the current era. The original definition of literally anything, because we could talk about the fact that we say fucking fries and it doesn't make sense. Like this, like really, literally. It's a hate sum. It literally means racism now. It does. It means like it is directly correlated with slavery. That is what this means.
No, man. I don't think the modern perception of something invalidates the meaning that it was before that perception. I don't agree with that.
I disagree. Well, now it does. It invalidates it now. You cannot use it in that way now. It is not now that thing.
Sure, you can. Maybe you can't use it in that way. I mean, technically, in some way you could. I don't know how, but like that's not necessarily true that you couldn't. But in the context of like I said in class, like sure, like, I'm sure that people who wave it today, like I would probably say it's likely they have some type of racist, characteristics of their personality. But that doesn't mean that like the meaning of that flag as intended as created is for racism. That doesn't mean like that doesn't mean it may have been, but like not like the meaning of the Southern flag isn't like necessarily like intended to be racism. But like if their people is racist, then like I suppose their flag would have to. Like you like it's reasonable to assume that. I guess I'm just trying to see like from what Nick Fuentes is saying. Like
no,
it's not necessarily inherently
I'm
racist.
trying to give you this. I'm trying to give you this, Liam.
What?
See, like so this is I gave you the Nick Fuentes approach actually pretty well stated it out.
What?
Gave you a pretty powerful argument about why the South is not. It's not about slavery, and that they actually did that this is about like
the government,
government power and having these specific things. This is his argument. I've given you that and laid that out pretty well to you, right? Okay. Let me explain. This is like Nick Fuentes' ability. This is what I've been trying to get you here for like every time we've talked about Nick Fuentes, and you always get here, Liam, and then you forget.
What?
Nick Fuentes' biggest ability is to hide in the shadows.
Okay.
That's his strongest ability, Liam.
This is for the camera.
This is for the camera. You and Liam. I'm telling you guys too, though. Nick Fuentes' biggest ability is to hide in the shadows of the fucking world, bruh. He's gonna say, look, bruh, I support the Confederate flag, but look, it doesn't necessarily mean racism because, whenever it actually doesn't mean, I don't think it actually has that meaning. When you go back and you look at the history of the word and how of the flag, and you look at how it was used and you look at the specific reasons, it does not to specifically mean racism, so I support the use of it now. That is not a fucking argument, and it doesn't work. Because it's genuinely used as a racist symbol now. He supports the use of that. He supports the way we use it now. He supports the people who use it now. He does. It's not about that.
I'm gonna say it's racist because slavery was like a very, very heavy part of the culture that they wanted there in the South, and they profited off of. They stand for that. They stand for slavery. That the people who waved that flag stood for slavery. And fought about it. Fought and died for it.
Yes.
So yeah, that is a racist flag.
It is quite literally a racist flag. I would also, I might be willing to say that about anybody who fucking crusaded.
Like if you wave that flag, those are the values of those people who wave that flag.
Literally. You're waving their values like it's not.
Yeah, it's racist.
It's pretty racist.
They're with Sneako.
I'm with Sneako on the racist part. I'm not with Nick Fuentes. I'm just saying he does have an argument to make that is seriously kind of credible to the fact that it the beginning of the Civil War wasn't necessarily about racism. It was about racism, but it wasn't necessarily about slavery and it was about some more stuff, and that's fine. But raising that flag definitely means slavery and definitely represents the racism behind it.
If you identify with that flag enough to wave it, who are they? Oh, they wanted it's just. I don't know.
With all the context, you're willing to wave the flag, bro.
Yeah. It's not part of my culture. It's not part of my political sort of culture. But I think that, and I'm speaking on behalf of people that do.
I want to talk to him about
or
if he
not just in
supports the gay
South.
flag.
I think they fly that as a symbol of rebellion against the elite, against the central government, against Washington. It's more about rebellion. And in the same way that George Washington owning slaves doesn't discredit his entire legacy and his status as an American, so too does necessarily the business of slavery totally poison the cause of the Confederacy or the battle flag or these particular generals. You could say Robert E. Lee was a great man, even if you fought for a cause that maybe necessarily you don't agree with.
Now,
the same is true of the flag. Maybe
I will
the flag
say
can
Robert
represent
E.
other
Lee might
things.
be the
And
way he's
it means
describing.
actually
I
a
might
lot
not
even
have
to
a problem
black
with him.
people who fought
I might have a problem
on
with
the
him
side of
destroying
the
this
Confederacy
thing
in the
too.
Civil War. So,
People be allowed to fly the Nazi flag.
should they be allowed to?
Oh, dude, he came with the
Yeah.
swastika.
Yeah, that's
he knew.
protected by the First Amendment.
Okay, but in Germany, it's illegal, and it's pretty understandable why, because it represents. I think it's pretty comparable to the Confederate flag. I guess I understand it's, but do you support
Plus that.
people like
Strong
waving
argument.
flags?
Strong.
I think you should be able to wave it.
Strong argument.
Like in
Would
this,
you,
in this
stop.
what's up?
Do you think you should be able to waive it without garnering the social criticism of it?
No,
Now, do you think you should be able to support someone waiving it without garnering that social criticism?
no.
Okay.
You can't criticize.
Okay.
I'm saying like you should be able. You can waive it though.
Well, yeah, but that's not the argument.
Oh, what is the argument?
It's more about. It's not about like, can you legally waive it?
It's like
Ought you?
should we allow it socially?
Should we be okay with it? Should you
Is that-
waive it? Is the
should
question.
you waive it? Should you waive it?
Should you waive the flag?
Oh, I mean that depends entirely what you stand for. Should you waive it?
Well, it's not asking should one waive it.
Should you
No,
waive it?
stop. Yeah,
What?
should like his question is whenever you ask should you waive it, it's not should one person in the universe would you say that someone should waive it is always the question. It's not about
Oh,
should a university
should you
waive
waive
it?
it?
That's the question. Would you say that it's you that you should waive the flag? That's the question. Not should
Would I say that
like,
someone should wave the flag?
like you should
I
waive
mean,
that flag.
That is my answer, kind of.
You think people should waive the flag?
I mean, I guess generally I would like them to not wave the flag.
Not like okay, not like it hurts me or its opponent. Do you think there's a moral you're committing a moral fucking you're creating a moral harm by doing so? Like
By waving the flag.
by
in the
waving the
context.
flag by waving the flag, are you creating moral harm? Are you doing a moral harm? Is this a moral wrong?
Yeah, it's against my morals. Yeah.
It's morally wrong. You
Yeah,
would say.
so I would say
you shouldn't do it.
It would be
yeah.
wrong to do that.
It would
Yeah.
be wrong to do
Okay.
so. That's the kind of question we're saying, right?
Okay.
Not like,
The Nazi
man,
flag?
you could do anything you want in the universe.
No, I don't support people waving the Nazi flag, but
Why do you support the Confederate flag but not the Nazi flag?
Oh, let's get it.
because the Nazi flag isn't from our country. You
Oh, bother.
That was strong.
Nick Fuentes is good.
That was strong.
Nick Fuentes is good.
That was strong.
Nick Fuentes, that's
That was strong.
that's good.
He said,
That's a good answer.
see, this is not our country.
This is a problem with him. He just said he's clean.
He's clean. I can't give him scraps. I
Oh,
told you.
Nick Fuentes is clean,
He's
bro.
a powerful foe.
Nick, bro, that's a good answer. First of all, it's not from our fucking country.
Fought, destroyed, bruh.
Yo.
Absolutely killed his argument.
He.
That's a
He
destruction.
used to. He went to extreme. He should have brought a more answer relative.
I would have said the gay for pride flag, but
Why do you support the Confederate flag but not the Nazi flag?
Because the Nazi flag isn't from our country. The Nazi flag represents something that's particularly German. If you look at National Socialism is a very specifically German philosophy. It's altogether separate from the other kinds of fascism on the continent at the time. And so for us to fly that here, it'd be like, it's like when these tankies are flying a communist flag, like a hammer and sickle flag. I don't think it'd be appropriate to fly that here either. Or even a Russian flag. I make a joke sometimes out of flying a Russian flag, but I would never do a rally and have Russian flags flying because it's foreign, it's not from here. The Confederacy is part of American history, and the people that fought for the Confederacy, that was important to them, it was important to their ancestors, it's important to their descendants, and they're part of the country too. And put another way, in Russia, they don't apologize for the legacy of Stalin. They don't apologize for the legacy of communism. I like that about Russia. They all recognize that Stalin was brutal and that communism was bad and that it killed lots of people and it was horrible, but they're also not going to sort of attack themselves and their own history and say, oh, we're so sorry, that was the worst thing ever.
Can we talk about the gay pride flag?
They choose to focus on the good aspects of their history.
That'd be lit.
Sure, you can pose that. What are you saying?
Acutely...
Like, I think, like, this is such a this is a great argument from him because he, but, like, it doesn't mean anything from him because he doesn't agree with it. I'll be like, bro, like, you know about the gay pride flag that we erected in America to, like, go against specific American traits? Do you support them in raising and flying their flags? If he said yes, then he's based. If he says yes, he's based.
If he says, why wouldn't he? What do you think he says no?
I think he's absolutely gonna say no.
He doesn't support the gay pride flag?
Absolutely not.
Why?
He's gonna use like a religious reason or something.
Because God has the homo.
But like you said, you don't agree with the Confederacy either, so it doesn't matter. You should just be okay with them waving their flag because it's a part of our history that we can't deny, even if you don't like it. That's what he just said.
It's like, yeah, well, but they're part of America too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, that's really important to them.
That's really important to them, and
They
they care about it.
They cared about that.
Yeah, their answer. Yeah,
So
I want to know about the gay pride flag, Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes, tell me about the gay pride flag. I need to know.
That's actually an interesting argument.
Gotta go against
but
what
they're not
saying,
going to allow that into the consciousness and poison their own identity. And I feel like Germany, it would probably be better if they did something similar to that, because in Germany, they're committing suicide as a country because of guilt over the Nazis. America's committing suicide as a nation because of guilt over slavery. So many of these things, we're not allowed.
I don't understand that statement. How are they committing suicide because of guilt over slavery?
Because if you look at Germany or if you look at the United States, we are making bad decisions. Like for example, crime right now is out of control. Crime is surging in every major city. Carjackings are surging in every major city.
What's that have to do with the Confederate flag?
Here's what it has to do with it. Because 2 years ago, during BLM, you had all these people out there protesting and saying George Floyd had a knee on his neck because the cops are the new KKK and it's an extension of slavery. And so because we were trying to placate people and because we were trying to appease or ameliorate our bad history, we decided that we were going to not have law and order. We decided that we were going to not have the backs of the police. And now it has this terrible outcome, and we're all supposed to live with that because we feel bad about bad things that our ancestors did or other people's ancestors did 150 years ago. And so as a country, it's very poisonous to have this constant refrain about our original sin, our country was never perfect, our country was not good. It's something that's very damaging to this American consciousness.
Good way to overlook the police, but how does that affect Germany? How is Germany committing suicide? That's a situation where I can understand why they banned that flag and why they try to ban that ideology after what happened. Because
now they've gone too far, and now any German that is too right-wing, any German that says like we should kick refugees out, they had during the Syrian refugee crisis like millions of people
influx of immigration, right?
Yeah, and you couldn't be against it because you were then perceived as xenophobic, which was like the Nazis. And so it's like, you know, countries have like an immune response. There is a healthy amount of xenophobia because a country is your home and a country is the people that are similar and like you. And so when people that are not like you come in, they could start messing up your stuff. And so there's a healthy immune response that says, whoa.
Pause
you know, this isn't a must.
See, like, that's true. It's just like for America, it's just that you can't, that's the one argument you can't make for America.
Yeah.
On why we shouldn't immigrate.
Yeah, but they're talking about Germany.
They talked about, what do you mean?
He's talking about Germany.
He's talking about Germany? Okay.
Committing suicide.
Yeah, committing suicide.
Because of the
yeah, that
fear
is
of the
true.
Nazis.
That's with fear of the Nazis.
Yeah, like because anybody who's too far right or like wouldn't have supported immigration.
Okay, yeah, sorry. They just reminded me of something then.
Yeah.
It reminds me of when, yeah.
This isn't Syria, this isn't Afghanistan, this is Germany. But if you've got this poison pill that says, well, we are fundamentally flawed, well, we are terrible people, we have this guilt, we have this national guilt, it compromises that immune system, and basically then international elements, migrants, corporations, banks can come in and basically just have their way with you. Because then anybody that says, we're a nation, we want to assert our identity, we want to assert our interests, they say, whoa, well, remember slavery, remember the Hitler, remember Stalin, remember That's always how they browbeat a nation into submission. So.
And how do you combat things like racism, very clear racism, because whether, I don't know what you're going to say about that, but slavery, how do you combat those ideas without fully without fully embracing the guilt? How do you balance that? Because after the Civil War, you need to completely change the philosophy of the country. You need to change the way that black people are viewed as property. How do you balance that? And then not have this guilt that fucks up immigration? Because you're completely on the side of, oh, this guilt fucks up the police. But, bro, you can't have black people being treated like property. You need a balance. What's that balance look like to you? Which I think is important, because if you're going to go into the future of politics, you're only looking at the country as a whole and immigration and all these topics, but you're excluding a big portion of the population.
Which is who? Black people?
Yeah.
Well, I would say that it depends on the context. I would probably be more in agreement with you, and Catholics historically were 150 years ago when there were attitudes that were very negative towards black people in the country. But I would say now that's fundamentally different. I don't think there is a very substantial racist element in America anymore. And if there is, I think it's very marginal, and I think it's blown out of proportion. And I say on my show, I make it a point to distinguish what I'm in favor of and what I'm against. And here's what I'm in favor of. I think that everybody should be treated, and I said this at my speech at AFPAC too, which is our big conference. I said every person, regardless of their race, should be treated with respect, dignity, equal rights, and what I'm against is cruelty, prejudice, discrimination. I would never say, oh, you're black, I'm going to treat you differently. You're black, I'm going to discriminate against you. I'm going to be mean to you. I think differently about you. But we've got to get specific, because what they say.
Do you think he lied when he said that? Do you think he actually is like?
Well, he does think differently about you. He believes in what is racial damn it, the like genes, like it's like you guys are born different. What is it?
He thinks there's like a reality of genes and
racial realism.
Race realism.
Race realism, yeah. I think it is. Yeah, he's a race realist.
Like black people have genes make him think this way.
Yeah.
Asians have genes make him think this way.
Think this way, act this way, be this way. Yeah.
Whites have genes that make him think act this way.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
No.
Okay. Culture. Individuality.
Yeah.
Culture, individuality, environment.
White people though.
Yeah,
culture, individuality, environment is what it is.
What's a pure white person?
What does it mean to be a white person, bruh? I don't know what that means. What is Italian?
Yeah, Italian. What?
Because Italians are all mixed.
With a little bit of, I don't know.
They're Irish, bruh. Maybe that hit you with the, I got a little.
Dogtown, we got them all.
Yeah, we got them all, bruh. Germans and stuff.
Italians got some Middle Eastern. So does Spain. Did you know Spain was Muslim for a minute? Spain was Muslim for a minute.
They're trying to hop on a bandwagon or something.
No, they got invaded by a Muslim country and they lost.
Spain took an L. I'm surprised.
Well, like the country bordered Spain.
Yeah, I'm just surprised. Spain is like powerful.
No, when we put up.
Spain took dubs, bro.
They probably had a lot of advantages.
Must have. I'm just saying, Spain was out here beefing with like France and England, but it's not as hard.
Spain's what's up? We gotta go to Spain.
Yeah, bro. At some point.
Look at it. Simpson. I don't think about Spain too much.
So we probably got like 2 hours from
is you're racist. And what does racist mean? If you ask 50 people, you're going to get 50 different answers. Some people say that if you have too many white people in a given room, that's racist, which means
that's true.
Some people say that it's impossible to be racist against white people in a room.
It's racist. No. Some people would be like, yeah, if there's too many white people, it's racist. That is a perception.
Oh, well, they'll walk into a library full of white people.
But like, if you were to see a room of like full of Indians, you wouldn't think it's racist.
I would.
Okay.
Just not because there's a room full of Indians. Just because I think that the majority of the people in the room are racist, and maybe that's my racism.
You think Indians are racist?
They might be. I don't know.
I've seen.
I ain't gonna lie. I think foreigners are more racist than Americans, and maybe that's just.
And that's true. And that's not even. And like, let's just be real, bro. That's true because like, yeah, like they have their own cultures.
Black people are more racist than white people.
I don't know about that.
But
yeah, I might agree with you though. I might
black
agree with
people are
you.
in general more racist.
I
than
might
white
How
agree.
about this? My whole life being in
Yeah,
America, the
yeah.
only time any person has said any racist thing.
It was a black person. I'm with you too.
That's
Maybe
true.
it's because I was in a
To
you
you?
know, predominantly, huh?
To you?
To me, yeah.
Yeah, black people make racial slurs, don't they?
Yeah, they're pretty
Yeah.
racist. I ain't
What's-
gonna cap.
Like, white people are scared to do it unless you're really about it. And
But like that's the
minority.
difference, right? So here's the question: like, black people are probably more open, or actually not probably. Black people are more openly racist because they think that they can be racist. Or
Not
something.
like saying
But
this
white
is
people
America.
it might be.
Saying this is America, you should speak English. That's racist as fuck.
Yeah. Well,
Because there are racist
Are,
white people.
Maybe.
now are you
I don't
fighting
think so.
against what he's saying about?
No.
Oh, that's just American culture.
I don't actually think so. Now, I might actually agree with that. I might actually not think that's racist. That's just what is it called? Fuck, they just said it, dude.
You're telling a person who barely knows how to speak English to
You
speak English.
Yeah, bruh.
So
I
that
don't
doesn't
think-
make any fucking
No,
sense.
no, that's it's anti-immigration, not not racist. It's the idea is that you should know how to speak English if you're living in America. I don't necessarily have a problem with that. But like,
Damn.
I'm just,
Well, you shouldn't be mad at someone for not speaking English, though.
I mean, no, but if you're trying to communicate with me, I mean, like you should be like I shouldn't be
But
the
they're
one
not tr-
expecting to know you being expected to know English is not like a racist thing in America. Everybody in America is expected to speak English.
Okay, but like
I'm just saying it's not racist.
him going up to someone and telling them that though is
Well,
different. Like if someone didn't speak English, you wouldn't care. You wouldn't mind it at all if someone had a hard time with English. Most people wouldn't.
Okay.
They just know they can't talk. You going out of your way like to tell someone you're you need to speak English. You're in America, like there's no reason anyone would do that.
You think it's racist?
Besides disrespecting someone. I
Oh,
mean, like,
no.
You're anti something.
Not yeah. I was like, I think that you're anti like what is it called? Immigration or something like
Immigration, like-
immigrants. It's like you probably have like those
You're
kind of problems,
anti-something.
but I don't think you're racist because it probably doesn't have anything to do
It
with
could
what race.
be.
But it, like if you're the kind of person who
Could.
says that, it probably has nothing to do with what race you are or what language you're speaking. It's just the fact that you're not.
I mean,
not
it could
speaking
be
American.
he could more likely to do that towards like a more brown person than like a white person that can't speak English. Like a person from Spain who speaks Spanish, you can't. speak
Okay, a
English as
racist
well.
person could say that, but I don't think that they. But like you could use it racistly, but I don't think that they like that the statement is racist. I think the
Okay,
statement
sure.
might be
The-
negative and be a
The
bad
statement
statement.
is not inherently racist.
I don't think-
Okay,
yeah.
fine.
And I don't think you would have to be a racist to say that thing. But that
You're
specific.
probably racist.
I don't think so.
Definitely.
I mean, unless like you're like maybe like anti, not like if you're racist against everyone who's not American, like, and that's fine, I guess.
Depends
Because well,
on
like,
what the person does and who he says it to, and
No.
who he chooses not to say it to.
but no, Liam. But if you're saying, listen, if you are the type of person to say something just because they're not speaking English, because that's
So-
what you're saying, not like
so
speak
hear
English,
me out,
right?
bro. You see how he's
No,
saying?
like you can be racist
Wait,
and
wait,
say that to someone.
listen.
yes,
And
but
show
you could be
language.
racist.
You
and
see
say
how
that to
he's
someone,
saying-
you could just say that. To
Remember the
someone,
thing about the flag? He said it's not American, right?
Yeah.
Everything. Do black people think that like they like you know what I'm saying? Like they're America. Like do they fight for their country basically? Like do they like give a fuck about this country?
Some people do. Some people don't.
Some people don't. Some Americans.
Some Americans, some white Americans, some black Americans, some you
I'm
don't. I
just
mean, you
saying.
probably don't care that much
No,
about this
because
country.
I'm saying because America,
Damn.
it had like it, you know what I'm
I
saying.
mean, like,
They
have like
been
a
there.
strong, like, do you have like, do you? I'm talking about you too, Liam. Like, do you have like a strong like
How do you
feelings
feel
about
about
specifically America? Like you have like
Like
strong,
is this your home?
like
your
I know it's your
country?
home, but like do you have like a strong affiliation like to
Yeah.
your American heritage and stuff?
I
You know
love
what I'm saying?
America.
Going to war for America, bro?
Go on a war? No.
Not do you want a war? Would you go to war for America? Would you fight for America?
No.
Okay.
Because Americans be warring over dumb shit.
Well, you don't fuck with America,
I
bro.
fuck
Don't
with America.
it, bro. Don't be
Well,
careful.
just because I don't
You don't
fuck
fight
with the
for your
military
country.
agenda doesn't mean I don't like America.
Nah, bro. Fight for your country, bro. Not fight like someone else's
No.
country. Fight for your
No,
country.
bro. Because
Like
Americans
you're in a
don't-
war, bro, and they're gonna fight. They're gonna fuck up America, bro. You're not fighting for America. What are we doing, bro?
Like, no,
what does
like,
it mean
if-
to support? We're to care about America, bro.
Bro, like you can help the people, community, bro. You can like, you know
No,
what I'm saying? You can
no,
preserve
what
the culture,
community?
bro. You can like.
I feel like
be
majority
Christian,
of
you know what I'm saying?
That's not American. These are
That's
so
American.
not American, bro.
I feel like the
What is
majority of the
American then?
people.
If you're not fighting,
Bro, I
bro,
mean-
let's talk for real. If you're not fighting in American wars, That's the most American thing I've ever heard of.
Okay, but like, isn't American like what else is American?
Is America war is not the most American thing you've ever heard of?
Are you saying like American warring is like the only like actually American thing we do is like war? Like if you don't want a war, it's like, are you even? Do you
really fuck with America? I'm memeing that.
Yeah, bro. Like I'm anti-slavery. You know
That's like
saying?
most of the fucking world
Because
at
of
this
us.
point. No,
No, okay.
we weren't first.
Britain was first.
Yeah, we weren't first. Please, let's not.
Britain was before us. It took a minute.
It took a second, bro. They say because of us, not kind of. But no,
We had a little bit to do with it.
it did help.
because you know it helped
That helped.
in recent history.
But yeah, not because of us.
I mean, like, bro, what do we like this?
That's what I'm saying,
so
bro.
gay.
No, that's what I'm at. That's why I'm asking why you care about it, bro. That's what
Bro,
I'm
I
asking
care about
what you care
America
about.
because America lets me.
It's your home, bro.
It's my homeland, bro, and it's like it's nice here compared to a lot of
I'm just
places.
saying you're not gonna protect your homeland, bro. Like,
I
you're
mean,
gonna protect your home, bro.
Like,
Your
Well, the
home.
thing is, American. It depends on the war because like American wars don't be protecting the homeland.
Hey, bro. I
They
said
be
fight,
taking
bro.
advantage of
You're
other.
not fighting for America, bro. Like if no, like we got a draft coming up, bro. You fighting for America, bro?
Well, I mean, if I'm getting drafted, I'm getting drafted.
Nah, bro. You down, bro? Are you down, bro?
Nah,
you're not
bro,
down for the
like,
cause, bro.
I'm
If you're not
not-
down, you're
nah.
not. You're not pro. You're not patriot enough. You're not pro
No,
America.
I'm not. I'm not.
You're not
patriotic.
pro America, bro. That's
I'm not patriotic.
you don't have a feeling for America.
So
bro.
in
That's what I'm
America,
saying.
it's okay to not want to be American, but in Russia, if you don't want to be Russian, then you're fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
America's got
Think
that
about
freedom.
that.
We're free, bro.
We're free,
We're
bro.
freedom.
We're
Think
the
about
Golden
that.
Eagle Federation.
You don't have
Hey.
to support, but if you go out your way to do things that are hateful and spiteful towards the government or
Come
anybody
closer
else,
to the camera, Nick. Yeah.
they're gonna pull up
Maybe
on your
so.
ass. You know what I'm saying? Like so in America, you have the choice to believe in what you want to believe in, and you know what I'm
Facts, true.
saying. And most people shouldn't even give a fuck about what you believe in, as long as you know you believe in it.
True. You gotta believe in you, bro. You know.
I believe in you.
That's what I'm saying. Hey, you know what? But I'm gonna say but you know, guys, it seems like Sneako and Nick Fuentes are gonna go over here and do their circle jerk fest, where like Sneako catches Nick Fuentes in like a spot, and then Nick Fuentes does this little slithery Nick thing
Nick
and like
Fuentes
slides his
knows
way
how to
out.
get out of a situation.
He's so good. I'm not even gonna lie,
Well,
bro.
he's doing with Sneako too.
Yeah, but
he's
like
dealing with Sneako.
he's genuinely like this is his power, bro. This is
He's
what
like,
it is.
well, it's from a different country.
It's from a different country. He slapped him with that, bruh.
Mhm.
That was a crazy bar, bruh. Like, you can't be... He's like, yeah, bro, why don't you support the swastika flag, bruh? It was a different country.
You should ask him the gay flag.
You should ask him the gay flag. I swear you should have. That's how you pop and be like, what about the gay flag, bro? That's American as fuck. Get the fuck out of here.
And he went going ahead and
That's
up
not
in the
American.
Charlottesville rally.
Absolutely is American.
Maybe it was.
The gay
created
flag
in
is very American.
Absolutely American, bro.
I think with America, I don't know, maybe.
It's a big part of American culture. These people they're Americans in American culture who support
Recent
this thing
time.
that you might not agree with. But you might not agree with it, but this is a big part of their life, bro, and their lifestyle, and what they care about. They should be okay for them to fly this flag, just like the Confederates should fly theirs. I don't actually agree necessarily that the
So
Confederates.
what are you saying?
I'm saying that Nick Fuentes is
own-
willing to support the Confederate flag, even though he says he doesn't support the Confederacy, right?
So okay,
but like,
another
and if
question.
that's the case, then why wouldn't he support the gay flag?
If the LGBTQ can do what they want over here with all the freedom, would they fight for their country?
Hey, bro, they better. Well, they getting drafted.
They're better, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
We drafted their ass, bro. There's a draft.
Can't be soft, you know.
Hey, this is what I want to say, bro. I support trans rights. We need trans women in the military, bro.
If
They
we
should be
get trans
drafted.
right, yeah, bro.
They should be drafted, 100%, bro. Hey, you
They-
with me, bro?
I'm with you, bro. Like, I feel like if you,
I think
if
y'all
you
with
want,
me too, though, because I'm actually
It
let's
don't
say-
matter.
Let's not frame it so dickishly, because I think that they want the same thing, bro. Y'all with me, right? Y'all trans people out there actually want to get drafted, right? Y'all with me. I know y'all do. I know y'all about it.
What are you saying?
What? I didn't want to frame it in
A
such a
place
way
with all men.
to
Oh
be
my
like.
God,
I didn't want to
those
frame
are
it and be
crazy.
like. I didn't mean that. I meant that they'll actually be treated like a man. Like that's what they want. Like you know what I'm saying. Y'all you know what I'm saying. You want to be treated that way. You know what I'm saying. I'm sure that y'all actually want to get drafted. That's what I'm saying. Y'all with it, right? I know it is, bro. Come on. I'm not like that. I'll frame it.
And Nick Fuentes was like, you shouldn't have a poison pill in your head for your country to hate on yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, America
That's the
was like,
progressive fucking ideology.
what if America was like, yeah, we had slaves, we wouldn't give a fuck. We ended that shit because we felt like it, not because we give a damn or feel guilty.
Well, no, because like yeah, that's fine. That'd actually be kind of cool. That based. Nah, that shit's wrong, bruh. We don't do that shit no more.
Is that it?
That's it. That's as far as you gotta go. You don't gotta be. I don't know if you have to
Yeah,
demonize everybody who did it because everybody in the world did it and it was normalized by everybody in the world. Like I get you're trying to demonize it, but like you could.
Everybody
Like demonizing everybody who did it is kind of like, yeah, they were all fucked up people, but everybody was fucked up people. So like,
everybody did it.
Yeah,
everybody did it.
literally everybody.
Like we're like, you slave blacks.
Even if you didn't own slaves, you still were like about the slave culture, like a part of it.
If you were like, especially if you were like upperclassmen,
like no way, bro.
Merchants or something.
Yeah, like even if you were lower classmen, bro, like you understood. Like even if you didn't own slaves, like you understood.
Imagine that merchant life. You know about that, right? Like that vibe of like a merchant sea trader. They had money, selling salts and shit. Seasonings.
I bet you if we had like say a species of semi like humans that kind of know like what to be told, bruh. I bet like, but they're not like intelligent enough or like like
okay.
as advanced or like their brain haven't evolved like us to think really.
Yeah.
I bet you some countries that jump first hand to fucking slave
yeah,
them
dude, we're still
motherfuckers.
got slavery in some countries already. Still, there's still countries that have slavery.
Yeah.
Shit, I bet.
Around the world, bro.
There's a lot of places.
I don't
in this
doubt
planet,
it.
You know?
Like, but I'm saying like
Sure.
mass. You know what I'm saying?
Slavery.
Like, I'll put them to work
Yeah, they
for
put them
free,
to work.
benefit off
Yeah,
of them.
they do that. Just not in America. But we would. We probably actually get on it.
But you're saying if we didn't find this, maybe I don't know. You would even say aliens, bro. Like working machines, but they're like humans.
Yeah, bro, that'd be fucked up.
You don't
We
think
do
that
it. No,
they
we
would
would.
jump?
We
Some
would.
countries wouldn't
It's
jump
just
first hand.
Shit, we might even do it. I just think it's fucked. I
do
feel
too.
bad, but I might even be down. I might even be one of the people who's down, but I still think it's kind of fucked.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Like-
now you got to think.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
So
you gotta
that's
think.
what America did. That's what they went to Africa. Oh, let's gather a bunch of these people. They don't know what the fuck's going on, right? Throw them on a ship they've never even seen
Hey, bro.
in their life.
How is he a Nazi? Chat is lit, bro. I didn't actually check you guys, bro. That's hella funny, bro.
Chat?
Hey, you guys don't know who you're talking about. Hey, I totally know what I'm talking about, bro.
Is this our chat?
He's in hiding. Nah, it's the Nick Fuentes, bros.
It's
It's the Nick Fuentes.
Okay,
This is our chat. No, this is our chat.
It's our chat?
It's
Yo.
the Nick. It's the fucking Groypers, bro. They're so.
They're here.
The
Poopy
Groypers
cat.
came quick, bro. That's so funny, bro.
This one was just a brief.
Hey, bro. You know, I know that the
Race
hiding.
realism is just to believe that races are different and the differences are meaningful. That's what you said. They were listening to us.
Yeah.
Good.
Hey, bro. Hey, actually, I want to sit down, Liam.
What's the view
Get out
count?
I don't know, bro. Chill. Who cares, bro? Fuck out of here. Don't worry.
They really be like hating
Well,
on
wait,
Nick
until
Fuentes,
after.
like the evil
No,
goblins.
they're not
they-
hating, bro. These are the Nick Fuentes supporters. Those dudes
No, I
are like
know.
the strongest fucking. Hey, bro. Look. I actually fuck with you guys because you guys actually listen to the points, and when you listen to the points, you guys actually make real, like, actual arguments against us. That's like lit, bro. You guys are real niggas, bro.
guys. Who? Just because Nick Fuentes is articulate doesn't mean he's lying or trying to trick you.
Hey, bro.
I
Hey,
mean,
look.
like,
No,
I
he's
feel
not
like
lying.
his-
No, he's not
the
lying.
statements he make are very valid.
He
No,
just
no.
He knows how to speak.
No, he's
Yeah.
not lying, but
No.
you guys know.
Sure.
You guys know that,
What?
my boy is slippery Nick, bruh. I'm actually, like, saying he's clean, bruh. I think he's really talented at talking, bruh. And not even that he's lying about his views or anything. I think he's talented at talking in such a way that, like, he can slide around his topic without having to be, as direct about his approach.
Explicitly,
He doesn't have to come out
yeah.
explicitly with it. And that's, like, a really strong
He's
like,
really
ability.
good at,
and he's
like-
good at it.
Sorry. Yeah, he's good at like pushing his message without explicitly saying his views in a way that's like obviously
Well,
offensive.
they're gonna think that he's trying to that isn't obviously offensive.
Yeah.
like he's trying to say it in
But
a way
like
that
the
doesn't
views
offend
like
the
you
next
would disagree
person.
with, but like he'll articulate them and even like be charismatic to people who would disagree with him, but he'll say it in such a way and use a particular example to display a point. And
Oh,
to
bro.
make it digestible for people.
Hey, poopy cat, bro. I'm gonna get you on stream, bro. I got I do my own thing, bro. Like if you wanna like put some shit, I can get you on stream. Like me and you, bro. Debate for real. I'm down.
Poopy cat.
I'll
might know what
debate
he's
you on the
talking
Nick
about.
Fuentes, bro. You don't know, bro. You think I don't know, but I know.
How much
Look,
time
he
we
said
got for
many
the stream?
Southern black people identify with the flag.
How much time we got for the stream?
I don't know. The uptime's a long time, bro. We've
Nazi
been doing it for a
flag
good hour.
Do you think it's over an hour?
Yeah.
And
We don't
not
have a
enough.
time?
specific
No.
culture or heritage.
Damn, we can't see.
Yeah, Poopy Cat
Oh,
is
an
a
hour and 9
genius.
minutes.
Hour 9 minutes. Okay.
Poopy
we'll
Cat's
go.
smart, bro. I want to fight you, bro. I think it sounds lit. Hey, bro.
We'll keep going for a second. You want to switch it up?
Oh, bro, he said okay, bro. I'm gonna get you in there, bro. I'm gonna get you up, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Not now, not now, bro. Not now, bro. I'm gonna hit you up. I'm gonna DM you, bro. I'm gonna DM you. It's gonna be me and you, bro. For real. Gang shit.
Hey.
But that's gonna be the end of the stream, bro. I'm gonna hit you up, bro. We're gonna get a video with you, Poopy Cat, bro. I fuck with you, bro. You smart. You actually took into consideration the points. I fuck with you.
Thank you, Poopy
Shout out
Cat.
to his
Thank
family.
you, everybody else.
Yes, sir. Everybody. Yeah, I see you over there too, fag.